Let's talk about some money. Sarah, you handle the ads. You handle the ads and the ad spend, the ad performance. Tell us what you do for Digi Ninja and Billy Merritt Marketing. What part of the money do you handle?
I handle the spending of the money, which is my favorite.
That's your favorite.
I try to maximize the performance of all the ads. I have a team that builds most of them. I help with, getting some of the wording down and making sure they have the placements right and teaching them how to do it. Facebook's a complicated beast, and that's where we spend our money. So I kind of run that whole team and then work on the performance as the week goes. I check it several times a day. It's a lot of work, and it has to be done that way to maximize their returns.
So anybody can create a Facebook page. Anybody can create an ad. You can copy one of our ads and post it on your page. Anybody can boost a post. So what makes you special?
I think my mind works with money. I get money. I get dollars. And when I see something that's trending in a bad way, I know how to turn it around. We can almost always turn them around. I just have to tweak them. There's lots of things to look at, lots of things to do. And the people that are boosting our ads and doing it for some clients, they don't really have the expertise, and they certainly have never been Facebook certified, and they just don't exactly know how to get to the end goal with their clients.
Facebook certified. What does that mean? Facebook certified. Is that like actually putting your status on there, like I'm interested in men or something like that?
Yeah, I'm interested in Facebook. So you have to take classes, and you have to learn different ways of using the pages and understanding, ads manager, business manager, settings, the users. There's so much that goes into it. And there are things that even Facebook, well, I'm not going to say too much, but there are things Facebook doesn't really know how to tell people to do that we've figured out because we've spent so much money. And so when I'm talking with Facebook, because we have our own rep, we actually have two right now, but when I'm talking with them, I don't go into all the details of how I do it because they're here to make money. So if they know we're working it to get the best lead costs and other people don't have those same strategies and tactics, then I think they might just know too much.
Yeah, they may try to copy us anyway. So, but Facebook certified, that's a real thing?
Yeah.
So where do you get Facebook certified?
On Facebook, you have to go through a whole process. It takes some time. You take classes. You have to do all sorts of things. I mean, the information on Facebook changes all the time. So once you're Facebook certified, you still have to keep up with changes. I have a Google alert on every day on Facebook changes or anything that has to do with ads or anything that has to do with placements. So what I learned a year ago has almost nothing to do with today.
Exactly.
I mean, sometimes, but.
Yeah, I understand. Now, they also, Facebook, when they, we'll say probably 5 or 6 years ago, you can correct me on the time, before people started spending so much money on Facebook, they had in-person classes, didn't they? Didn't they have some seminars and things you could go learn about? And did they have those out in Colorado? Did you attend any of those?
I sure did. Yep. And it was a lot. There were some things I didn't know as much from the development side, which now makes more sense because of what we've been going through. But when they talked about the AI and all of that type of thing and how to, hook up other platforms to Facebook to get to a different goal, whatever that happens to be. At the time, it didn't make as much sense to me, but now I can put it all together.
Now, again, this is a money show, and I've had people actually tell me that I'm not telling the truth when I told them how much money we've spent on Facebook advertising. How many dollars have you overseen that we absolutely spent on ads on Facebook?
So last time I checked, it was 5.56, I think, million.
5.56, $5.5 million of ads.
Yeah.
I know you don't have to be exact. Normally you'll pull this up. You may already have this. You know how many people we've reached on Facebook with our ads?
That's a good question. I could find out.
No, that's okay. I can tell you, and I can be within a few million. Smith, do you remember the exact number? It was so the total people reached, it was almost 20%. So I think that's, let's see, 10% would be 25 million. So 40 million.
Yeah.
It was right at 40 or 45 million individual people have seen a Sarah Stalker / Billy Merritt ad.
That's right.
40 million people.
It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. My neighbors, people around here have seen it. Your neighbors have seen it.
Well, I mean, you can go anywhere in the United States and at least 1 out of every 10 person, almost every 2 people out of 10 have seen one of our ads.
Right. And you know how I like to look in the background and make sure everything's working well, because I like to look at the whole process of the ads and everything. And once in a while, I'll see someone I know responding to an ad that we have from somewhere else in the country. Mm-hmm. And I quickly message them and I say, you got to get in on this deal. How you been? Right. But it's nice to see it.
You know, how long ago? I guess you and I started working together when I was at a dealership about 4 years ago now, at least over 3 years ago. We spent quite a bit of money back then, and I don't know if you remember this or not, but I was definitely one of the first people, probably I'll go on the record, prove me wrong. I was the first person in Georgia to dedicate 100% of a car dealership's advertising budget to Facebook. And people thought I was crazy, but you remember what we did there, which is basically what led to where we're at now. So when you first started with the Facebook ads, were people reluctant? Tell me what it was like 4 or 5 years ago when you were started working Facebook ads for the first time.
It was quite a bit different, and it had nothing to do with these big offer events. And the way we were running it, you were the first one to really come in and want to try to make that into a come in this week. People were not as reluctant to go with Facebook as much as they just didn't know a lot about it. They weren't ready to put their money into it much. So it wasn't a big part of the advertising budget at all.